What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and
Hello,
imagine a
everyone.
utopia?
So I'm Marie, I'm a general partner at Fly Ventures. I'm an inception stage VC, so we invest at the very onset of companies. And I have the difficult task today to be the person who speaks at 4 p.m., so you're probably already all brain dead from the 8 or 10 talks that you've seen today. So I thought, okay, you know what, let's just bring fun, interesting facts and shake it up a bit. If it works. Yeah. So just obligatory ad about us. If you know us, which is unlikely, as we're very stealthy, you know us from our biggest portfolio company, which is called Wave, which we back at inception when Amar and Alex were out of their PhD running the little autonomous Twizy on a Cambridge lab. And since then, they're the AI company in the UK, actually the company from the UK that raised the most of all the startups in the UK, raising 1.3 billion total last year. And everybody from Elon Musk to Bill Gates to Satya Nadella has ridden in the Wave car. They now work with Uber to make Uber autonomous in all of the US and undisclosed stuff to come as well. What we do basically is we try to meet very technical expert people when they're starting their company. We prefer if it's not something obvious, if they have a very different viewpoint on the technical topic that they're building. And I think it's always better when you see the faces of the people that we back. It gives you a clue of who they are. And then we try to help them make the best equity story possible by just being very aware of what the technical VCs in the US want to back at the next stage, usually Series A. And we help them hit the right milestone, and we're sort of that a bit tiny advisor in there here to make sure they get the best follow-on funding. And we manage to hit that on a very regular basis. Okay, so enough about us. What you care about. So this used to be venture capital, so like a very great. So we saw people from Alan today. We saw people maybe from BlaBlaCar, from a ton of great French tech companies that are from this very nice era of linear accelerated successes. Since 2022, venture capital looks very different. It looks more like this. I hand drew this, sorry, it looks like shit. What does it mean for the founders? What were the rules of building a product before? It was, hey, you create this, you know, the YC typical advice. You call all your YC or startup friends, you all have them use your very nascent MVP product. You put it on their website that they're actual users. You have an MVP that's a bit shit, but you know it's fine, you start, you fake it until you make it. You have design partners who you're not sure if they truly want your product or something else, but you get started. And then, if you hit product market fit, there is like a full now literature of how you create benchmarks, or what the benchmark is for salespeople, whatever your ICP is. Now, it's actually very different, and it's been so for like 2-3 years. Now people, the greater people, they stealth, they're completely operate out of stealth. Sometimes it's super funny because they actually never launch their product. I'm not going to talk about a few very visible French AI companies who never launch, but you can guess, I guess, from the next AI conference you're going to go to who actually has products or not. But you actually never show your product, and there is a good reason for this. You show it to a very gated community, and usually it's for the consumerized motion. It's not for like an enterprise or a team used. It's really at the user level. And when the time is right, when you feel like you've really hit it, then you launch. And then it's either magical or shit. I think it's always better to put this in numbers. So 10 power to 7, I don't know how to say it in English, it's 10 million. So just here you have these companies, I guess. DataIQ, Doctolib, Revolut are great successes from the previous era, and 11 Labs, Lovable, and Mistral from this new era. So this is the picture of DataIQ, Doctolib, and Revolut on their fourth year, the year where they hit the 10 million ARR mark. So year 4, number of people in the company to hit that mark, how much they had raised to reach that point. Can you guess how it looks like for this one? Okay, there you go. It's not completely public, but it's just between you and us, right? So, and Mistral has the compute, so that's why they raised so much. But if you remove the compute bit, they didn't burn that much to reach crazy ARR. So this is the reality now. You need 10x less the people, 10x less the funding, and you have this very, very new playbook that the excellent, excellent founders are using. I'm going to take 2 case studies, and I did, on purpose did not use a French one because Photoroom could really be on the slides as well. For instance, they really embody that as well. I'm choosing these 2 because hopefully you've not been already like talking to the people from this company and you know them a little bit less. I'm also going to talk about them because they share interesting traits. They both are pitches that I get into my inbox every fucking week. So 11 Labs, Voice AI, at the time, it's very, very high on our entire portfolio. We actually met them. We met 3 other awesome teams, 1 in France, 1 in Germany, 2 in the UK, who were doing the exact same thing. All really, really standout technical teams, all building Voice AI APIs. And because we're very smart, we're like, oh, but Google is going to do this. So, yeah. And Lovable, I think I get a pitch doing more or less Lovable. Frankly, every week last year, it's a bit more like every month this year, but and again with great teams as well, ex-Googles, ex-Palantir, really big fintech companies, and all willing to build the autonomous AI engineer for you. So here you have the raw data. What did these guys have for them? I think you'll see that the teams were excellent. They all actually had experience building AI products, which is very important. Because it's not because you worked at Google that you worked on an AI product. And it has, like was talked about today, it has a bit certain quirks to it. Both of them had people who were amazing at go-to-market. I think we understood why 11 Labs won when we met Carl Schreiner, who is their COO, and if you get the chance to meet him, I think you'll understand why as well they reached more than 100 million ARR in such a short time. But what they also have in common is their mastery of the launch. Lovable actually launched 3 times before they got it right. The first time they were called GPT Engineer, and it was still a bit quirky, it didn't work out, and on the 3rd launch, they managed to reach over 40K MRR, so monthly recurring revenue in just a few weeks. What they both did, what 11 Labs did, they started with, for those who don't know, they started with the growth influencers and the marketing influencers from YouTube as a community. And Lovable started with their own open source community from when they were called GPT Engineer. So what they both did actually was they had this very close to them, gated community of people who were willing to spread the word really fast, and they waited for the right time to launch. Okay, so I actually had made a slide for that, so you have it now. Yeah, so what this team had in common, so serious AI skill built product before, what I didn't say as well, they both iterated like crazy, so I don't know if you use Lovable really early, like I did. You could like share it to them on an email, this is shit, please fix it. They would share you, and they would send back an email 15 minutes later, hey, refresh, it works now. This is insane dedication to your users. And I think what ties it all together, and it's great to be at a product conference today to say this, what ties it all together is that none of them settled for okay. Okay, in this new realm of AI product, is not okay. People are fed up with new AI products. People are fed up with, wait to see a demo. No, I don't want to fucking wait to see a demo. I just want to use your product, and I want to test it, and if it's shit, I'm not gonna use it. And sorry, I speak very in a fruity language, but this is how people feel. This is how the users feel. They just want to be surprised by the one AI product out of 100 that they tried, because there is so much pressure, right? Ooh, hey, look at your colleague. He's creating automatized agent to be super more productive, and you're not. Yeah, okay, he's writing on ChatGPT and uploading his PDF on ChatGPT. It's not, he wrote an. So there is this pressure from everybody to perform. Everybody tries AI product. They always get this awful experience of, is it me? Am I stupid? No, it's the product who are shit. So when you find a product that gives you this magical wow moment, the one that everybody felt, I guess, when you first tried ChatGPT post GPT 3.5, it's special. And I think what these two companies managed to do is they managed to make you feel again this special moment. What does it mean for the venture capital ecosystem in Europe? I speak to, so because that's my job to help my portfolio, I speak to tier 1 US VCs, people from Lightspeed, GC, Lux Capital, Sequoia, etc., all the time. And what the Series A people, so the people that come after me, tell you is, for you guys it must be hard, for us now it's pretty easy. Either it looks like the crazy hockey stick situation and people have crazy traction, or it's painful. If it looks right, we invest and we have to pay crazy prices and the deals are insanely competitive. If it's painful, we just don't invest. So it creates this very binary situation for the bigger rounds where you see all these really crazy big US rounds. That's because the people got it right. They got this mojo going on. What does it mean for the seed stage, for the super early stage, the inception stage? It means that if you're not doing something like very deeply technical or very where you feel a bit more protected, if you're doing something that some people would dare call a GPT wrapper, you might want to wait a little bit to show that you have this magical experience, or that you have this onset of community that loves what you do, to show it to VCs, because VCs, they get the same pitch 8, 10, 20 times. No idea is unique right now. The copilot for PMs, copilot for sales, copilot for SDRs, copilot for compliance team in large banks, copilot for AI in the call center, automated creatives for mobile ads. It's all about execution, and sometimes you will have to wait a little bit more, like it was maybe a few years ago to get funded. And definitely, I think, for us, with our very technical and maybe too narrow mindset, our thesis as a fund will likely definitely be very stupid again and miss the right ones, as is the tragedy of the stage we invest in on all these new, very cool categories. This also has a very clear dark side, and the dark side of it is because there is now this mythology, like this very tension around the idea of a launch. Some people are abusing it and around the traction. So I let you form your own thoughts over, is OpenAI working and has the means to achieve AGI? I'm in the ultra skeptic camp, because to me I talk to researchers working on the state of the art of AI all the time. That's what I do, and there is just no science bridging that gap that exists yet. There are people who raised new $1 billion rounds for their new labs, like Elias Suskiver, or more recently, François Chollet, to achieve that, to work on the science. But personally, I think it's just a path for him to raise the last round. And we have a different way where this is a bit problematic. Exaggerated claims of customers and different ways you can cheat or make it look like you have a lot of traction. Also, I think create, and the VC excitement over these very few companies that seem to attain the hockey stick, I think it's a great playground for people who are very good at creating frauds. So, allegedly, yeah. Okay. So, most of you today are not founders. Should you care? Maybe. What is transposable from these very extreme startup founders who work 22 hours a day sometimes just to get their product extremely, extremely right? The first thing you can, I think, that translates very well is if you really want, if it's worth it for you, for your company to build around AI, you need someone from your team who is able to read papers, who is able to browse Hacker News, who knew before today what MCP is. This doesn't need to be everybody because others like chaos, but maybe it's you. You need that person in your team that just knows what's happening because it changes all the time. And it's so hard to hire really, really good AI engineers with LLM experience. I think you've all faced that pain. You know what? Other more untapped talent pool also work out. People who have worked with computer vision, with like the old school deep learning, people who have worked with old school NLP are skills that, it's the same skills, it translates super well. So sometimes there is that like unsexy company doing machine vision for whatever, like the guy, he knows it's the same processes, but with this new technology. So. If you want someone a bit deep technically, this is talent pool that we see re-employed very successfully in our portfolio companies. And the second thing that translates is that nobody cares anymore, and it's true within large organizations as well. There is this fatigue of trying AI products, so just take that into account because, of course, it's your baby, it's your project, you care a lot about it. Your users, likely they have had to try already 10 stuff that didn't work out. So if it's important to you, if your project is important to you, know there is this disappointment and you have a threshold and like a duty if you want this to work to not just make an okay AI product. Another learning maybe from Lovable specifically is that people, they really don't know what to build with AI. It was true with the no-code era as well. Most of the people, they are not building with no-code tool. They're using workflows built by specialist no-code experts. So one way you can help people onboard them on your product, especially if they're very open, very, very large, is just to add templates. And on Lovable, the usage is 90% of the users. I think it's even crazier. It's like 95%. They don't build from scratch. They start with a template. Or this would look like a nice front for my e-commerce website. And then they edit it. And this is a new UX motion. I think that's so great that they invented this. Template, edit with AI. Makes it also way easier to create for you this product. And maybe one last thing. Inference, especially for the larger model, is insane expensive. So if you're doing all this work and possibly have this very expensive OPEX generating product, then it better be like really cool for your users. Or maybe you can use something else than LLMs. That's it for me. Thank you. And if you want to check out French portfolio companies, they are all hiring.